Hi guys, for those of you that are new to following me, then welcome. For those of you that already follow me on Instagram and have followed me over onto YouTube, welcome back. This is a very special video dedicated to the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction that we will be experiencing on Monday, the 21st of December, 2020. Now, this video will take place in two halves. The first half will be discussing the numerology and the astrology behind this particular event before moving on to a collective energy reading in which I will be pulling from the Numinous astro deck and also using the Mystic Mondays tarot deck. Please note that the energies are interchangeable. They are not gender specific. Please take what resonates and discard the rest. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can email me at moonbutterflytarot@gmail.com. Alternatively, you can direct message me on Instagram. So the first thing that I want to say is tomorrow, because I'm recording this on Sunday, the 20th of December, tomorrow will be the winter solstice, which is amazing. So I'm really excited about that. So the conjunction is happening on this particular day, and we're going to start to sort of explain or decode the meaning so that we understand how this energy may play out in our daily lives. So the conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius is a very historic event. The last time that we've actually seen both Jupiter and Saturn conjunct in Aquarius was in 1405. Now, this is a very definitive sign, this particular conjunction, that times are going to be changing, and it's quite ironic that it's going to be occurring on the winter solstice, which marks the shortest day but the longest night. And when we're looking at what winter symbolizes within spirituality, it represents seasonal changes or seasonal endings, and essentially the energy is of rebirth, because once something dies, it then becomes reborn. So this is happening on the 21st of December. If we add 2 and 1 together, that gives us the number 3. And 3 within numerology represents new beginnings. It represents creativity. It represents fertility, expansion. And the fact that this is occurring at this particular time, on this particular day, echoes the energy of the event, which is talking about all things to do with major change that we can expect when both Saturn and Jupiter move into the sign of Aquarius. Now, when this happened in 1405, what we saw was, we experienced as a society, as a world, we experienced a renaissance. Now, the word renaissance in French literally means rebirth. So this marked like phenomenal paradigm shift within society, because we saw developments and changes within science, within technology. We saw changes within the techniques we were using within art. We were discovering more about literature. We were really discovering more about music. So these particular changes within those particular sectors meant that we could definitely expect something that's going to occur during this particular conjunction, which is going to spark a change in society within those particular sectors, which will not only define the here and now, but define the decade and the time beyond that. Now, Aquarius it represents the element of air, and it governs the higher mind. So this particular zodiac sign is ruled by the planet Uranus, which deals with technological advancements, it deals with innovation, it deals with humanitarianism, and it also deals with freedom. So not only can we expect an expansion of our consciousness with this aspect, but we can definitely expect some new revolutionary innovations and inventions that we will be seeing from the people that are influenced during this time. Now, Aquarius is the 11th house ruler, and The 11th house within astrology deals with groups and it deals with society. And within numerology, when we're looking at the meaning behind the number 11, it represents a heightened spiritual consciousness. Now, within tarot, number 11 within the major arcana is the Justice card, which represents balance. It represents alignment. So we can say that this particular conjunction is going to not only bring about a stimulation of innovation, ideas and creativity, and really start to expand that consciousness, but it's also going to bring us into alignment. It's going to bring us into alignment with the law of nature, I suppose, and the law of the universe, which governs the law of nature. So as Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, it represents the element of fire, which is symbolic of the bigger picture. So Sagittarius is symbolic of the bigger picture because it looks after and governs the higher mind as well. Now, when we're looking at the 9th house, which is what Jupiter is responsible for, we're dealing with all things to do with religion, spirituality, our beliefs, the law, morality. So the focus with this energy is not only the ability that we will gain as individuals to observe things from a broader perspective and also on a collective level, but also to find things that are meaningful and purpose driven. So that means that we're going to be engaging in things that are going to give us that growth that we require, that growth materially, that growth intellectually, that growth spiritually that we're all looking for at this particular time. Now, Jupiter is going to be in Aquarius, but this will be located in the 6th house. And when we're looking at the 6th house, we're dealing with the way in which we live. We're dealing with the way in which we work. We're dealing with our health, our well-being. So our well-being is definitely going to be one of the things that's going to be on the forefront for change. So on an individual level, we're going to see a focus on greater independence and reliance on self, because 9, when we look at it, not only represents the gestation period, not only does it represent sort of completions, but it represents that independence and that focus on self. So there's going to be a lot more self-reliance. There's going to be new ways in which we're going to be working. And I definitely expect that from all of this fresh energy, there is going to be a rise in entrepreneurs. Now, I did sort of touch on the fact that the 6th house deals with not only health, but it deals with diet and also exercise. So I do feel that we're going to also be focused on new ways of being healthy. We are dealing with a global pandemic at the time that I'm recording this. So we're going to be looking at nutrition as well as diet, as well as exercise, new ways of being able to do things, particularly if you have been in a situation where your movement has been restricted because of the laws that have been implemented dealing with this pandemic. Now, on a global level, what I'm expecting to see based on this energy is that there is going to be a truth revealed, or a revelation of truth. This truth revelation is going to be on an individual level first before it's on a global level. So it's about coming into alignment with who we are, the highest versions of ourselves, so to speak. Now, when we're looking at the way in which we are governed as a society, we're looking at this energy bringing in a new way of doing things, a new establishment of a new order, which is going to challenge and overthrow the existing order and rendering it worthless. Now, this revelation of truth within us as individuals, to be able to see beyond the physical eye, using the mind's eye and being able to see what's going on and perceive everything around us, is going to spark significant changes within governments, and this is going to be globally. So I'm expecting to see a lot of changes of government, a lot of changes possibly of ministers, and some changes to do with laws and to do with policies is definitely something that I'm expecting to see from this energy. What I'll also say is class consciousness is a concept that was developed by Karl Marx, who was a Marxist. And when we look at the theory of class consciousness, Marx talks about an awareness of problems within society based on class division. Now, this theory may support the idea that the divide that may occur will be a divide that's going to be representative of a power shift and a power sort of struggle between those that are in authoritarian positions and with society as a whole. Now, what will mark the catalyst of these particular changes is the movement of Saturn from its home in Capricorn into Aquarius. Now, Saturn is the planet that deals with boundaries and restrictions and limitations, and it deals with accountability, and it also deals with order, and it's known as the father of time. So when we're dealing with the father, when we're looking at it within the context of a familial setting within a household, it represents the disciplinarian figure. But when we're looking at the meaning of the word time, it represents accountability. So when we put those together, it represents like order and truth and accountability for actions. So this, for me, suggests that what will happen as a result of all of these particular changes, those that are guilty of injustices against the masses, this is how I'm reading it, those that are guilty of injustices against the masses are going to be held accountable for their actions. With Saturn being in Aquarius, it not only represents dealing with society as a whole and Saturn representing authority, limitations and boundaries, the changes that's going to occur as a result of Saturn being in Aquarius are going to be very long lasting. Now, on an individual level, what we can expect to see is that there's going to be a focus more on individual goals. There'll be a focus on change. There's going to be a focus on new ways of working and creating in order to ensure greater financial stability. I do feel that there'll be less jobs provided, which will see the increase of entrepreneurial pursuits, and we can already start to see these sort of effects of that happening as we speak, because of so many businesses that have gone into they're no longer existing. So some of them have gone into liquidation, some of them have ceased to exist and trade. So we're going to see replacements of those in a new way. Potentially, instead of by big corporations, maybe individuals will be creating new opportunities. What I also see is that we're going to really be focusing on achieving what it is that we want, because this whole year has been about us getting into alignment with who we are on a soul level, being honest with who we are, facing the things that scare us in order to transcend the boundaries and the limitations that we've actually imposed on ourselves. So as a result, we're no longer going to be focusing on doing things based on logic, but we're going to be focusing on doing things by using our higher mind, using our intuition, so that we can understand that the greatest tool that we have in order to create the life that we desire is our mind. And some sort of advice throughout this time that I would sort of say may help you, especially during this sort of transition and this upheaval that we're going to be feeling on an energetic level, is definitely stay hydrated, drink more water. I would definitely say eating more fruit and vegetables has been a focus, simply because of the fact that the more fruits and vegetables that you give your body, the more you're able to ground your energy, the more you're able to raise your vibration as well. Taking regular spiritual baths in order to sort of cleanse and detoxify your aura and keep yourself centered and grounded. Do more long walks in nature. Use this energy that you're feeling in order to enhance your creativity at this time. So if you are somebody that likes to express themselves through dance or writing or music, or creating or designing, whatever it is that you enjoy doing that gives you that peace, do that. I would also say that use this time to really focus on what it is that you want to achieve in the next 3 years. Create your plans. Write a 3-year plan. Break those down into individual years and then break them down into 12 months for each year, and start to use that plan and work it into your daily life so that you are achieving something. Definitely, final tip, meditate daily. You are going to need to be able to center yourself daily in order to sort of use this energy for your highest vibrational good. So without further hesitation, we are going to begin with the reading.